This is lesson 5 in the Guide to Reading Music, really kind of the second phase, volume 2, I guess. In the first one we talked about reading notes in first position, mostly in the key of C. And before we go too much further into this one, really encourage you to review everything that we talked about in there. Hopefully you have a good idea of lines and spaces, recognizing the FACE relationship between the spaces in the staff and the lines above the staff and the lines below the staff, which I'll elaborate on another time. And good, quick recognition of notes in the key of C, not just the C scale, the notes above C, up to G and A, and below C to B, A, G, and F, and E. So hopefully, again, that's all in pretty good shape, because what we're going to do in this lesson is now look at reading in the key of G. The key of G, of course, has 1 sharp. And I have one attachment that comes along with this. Later on we will start looking at pieces in the key of G. But where we're going here, and this will be a cumulative thing, we'll be adding to this a lot, and I'm kind of getting back on board after a few months of having left this on the sidelines. So what we're going to do here is take a look at scales and exercises in the key of G, and then we'll add some songs to it a little bit later. But the first thing the thing I always do when I'm about to work on a new piece is review that key and play those scales, play that scale, whether it's major or minor, in mostly up and down the neck, to kind of, depending on where the song is going to be taking place. And we're starting again in first position, so that's doable. We only have one note different in the key of G that needs to be altered, and that, of course, is an F. F sharp has to appear in the key of G for the G scale to be a major scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And there we have our G major scale. So the attachment I have here has got the G scale. We'll talk about the E minor and the E melodic minor scale as well. And then this has a few exercises to practice scale variations, basically applying a little bit of a pattern or a function to each note in the scale to really get your fingers used to playing those notes. Because what you want to be doing when you're playing a song in a key, whether it's G, D, A, E, B flat, have a clear idea of where the notes you're going to play are so that your fingers are ready to play those notes. Okay, so coming up in this short little, the couple of segments we're going to see here, we'll be talking about the key of G and looking at some scales and patterns. That was the first part of a continuing series of lessons that we have up at Totally Guitars, helping you learn how to read music. It can seem like such a scary thing, but it's not. I've really simplified it and demystified it, and this is a very long series of lessons that we have. The lesson that is up now is lesson 5. We're starting to work on reading notes in other keys. First 4 all dealt with timing and reading natural notes in first position in the key of C. But we've added now to it a little bit of scales and exercises in the keys of G and E minor, and then talking a little bit about the difference between the two keys. This series will be going on for quite a while as we'll go through some different keys and then a lot of songs, a lot of supplemental songs to be reading. But the goal of this is really to help you get more comfortable looking at notes and not always relying on tablature, to be heading towards playing some classical pieces. Eventually pieces like this will get worked in, or these are all the types of things that I like to have people learn to read from music rather than from tab. So if you'd like to check out more of this, it's available now as part of our Target program at Totally Guitars. Eventually we will have this as a separate unit, but since it's still a work in progress, it is part of our Target program, where there are also hundreds of other songs and lessons and all kinds of stuff to really help you advance as a guitar player. So when you can, come over and visit us at Totally Guitars, particularly if you'd like to start working a little bit more on learning how to read music.